Hello from HerScoop. Today I'm doing a book review on Who Am I by Jasmine Bharucha. Jasmine and I actually live in the same city, so we recently got together for a cup of coffee and she walked me through this gorgeous children's book, which is also a book for people of all ages, but it is geared toward kids. And she walked me through this book, and I gotta tell you, after the hour of being there with Jasmine, I felt so centered, I felt so limitless, and it was very, very empowering to sit there with her and go through this book with her. So I sat through it with my kids, and particularly my 6-year-old daughter Ava, and we had a great time. I'm just going to show you quickly about this great book. It's called Who Am I? And the first part is a storybook to sit down with your kids. Beautiful illustrations that really grabbed the children's eye, and just quick text. Here's one that says, "Earth only recycles what already exists." So a lot of kids are already learning this in school, and so it's a teachable moment as well to just sit there. You read the quick text, and then you talk about the illustration with your kids, which my daughter really loved doing. More story goes on, more photos. And it really talks about how we're all connected, whether we're humans, animals, plants, trees. We are all connected and nothing is separate from one another on the planet. It says here, nothing is separated. We are all connected. We are all one. Then it talks about the universe at large and how we're all connected to the universe at large as well. And we are infinite and we are limitless. There is no beginning, there is no end. You can get into a bit of a scientific talk with your kids when you get to this part of the book as well. And then, it says, who am I? I am infinite, limitless. I'm a limited body. And this beautiful photo right here. It says, I am not separate, I'm never alone, I am connected. And then comes in the workshop part of the book, which I absolutely love. So all sorts of different topics to go through. It recommends journaling, talking about your feelings. My daughter loved doing this. She's really just starting to read and write, and she loved this part, and I helped her with her writing. I got to tell you, there were a lot of cuddles. We sat in, the quiet room together and spent a lot of quality time doing this together, and she loved it. Different steps of how to process what you've just learned, and telling you breathing, really good idea. Here's beautiful Jasmine right here. I mean, I'm going through this so quickly, but there's some really, really great tools to do with your kids after you've read this beautiful story. One of the things here is what happens to us when we die. Well, I lost my dad when I was 22 years old, so I often talk about Grandpa Jim, and I say that he lives in heaven. I've just said that since the kids were babies. And so we really got into that conversation about Grandpa Jim in heaven, and what's heaven, and tell me a little bit more about Grandpa Jim. And I gotta say, that was really nice to connect with my daughter and just give her a little bit more of an understanding about death, dying, terminal illness, which my father had. It really opened up the doors for some conversation. Now, I'm not sure that she really took it all in, but I just think that this is a really good planting a seed with our kids to start the conversations, and maybe they're a little bit difficult to talk about sometimes, but it's a really great guide for all of us. There's so much here too. After you read the very simplistic, story, there are so many neat exercises to really connect with your kids. And yes, it is connecting with our spirituality and learning and growing together. I think there's so much to be learned from this book, and I went through it so quickly, but I gotta say, I think Jasmine has done a fantastic job on this, and I would recommend for any parent that is looking to explore spirituality, who am I, not only for your kids but for yourselves, and doing it together. I think it's a really great book and a great resource. Who Am I by Jasmine Bharucha. Thank you.